Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 10 favorite Super Nintendo games. Now previously I've shared my favorite PlayStation 2 games as well as my favorite Xbox 360 games. So I thought this time around it'd be fun to show you guys a retro console. Now I'm going to preface this by saying that a lot of these games I have a nostalgia bias over. Of course the Super Nintendo has a great library of games, but of course I was limited to when I was younger to the games that I played. So like I said, I'm going to have a bias towards a lot of these, but there's definitely a lot of Super Nintendo games that I don't have on this list that are also great, but we're going to go ahead and get right into the list. So at number 10, we have Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Now, I believe this is actually developed by LucasArts and published by Konami. This is a run-and-gun game. This is actually a co-op game where you can play it as co-op. There's a girl and a boy character. So basically you go around different levels. I think there's about like 55 levels. Some of them can be pretty long. There's a lot of puzzle elements in here as well. But you go around as either the girl or the boy, and you try to save your neighbors. One of my favorite neighbors to save was the little baby, or I always tried to save the baby when I was younger. I was like, I can't let the baby die. But basically, you just go around again and try to save your neighbors from different types of villains. So you have different cool, like different types of villain creatures. So you have like chainsaw people, you have zombies, of course, and then you have like mummies, you have werewolves, a lot of different types of creatures in the game, which is very cool. The music in this game is absolutely awesome. Whenever I hear the soundtrack or whenever I hear somebody playing the game, the music always gets stuck in my head. They did remake this game, or they put it, or ported it, I guess I should say, onto Switch with the sequel as well, which is Ghoul Patrol. I haven't played that one quite as much, but definitely recommend you pick up the Switch version if you want to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors on like a more like current platform. But definitely a fantastic run and gun game. Absolutely love this. Played this with my older brother in co-op, and again, just a fantastic game. Had to put it at number 10. And then the next game we have here at number 9 is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So, of course, made by Nintendo. Now, this game is actually one game that I didn't play when I was younger. I picked this up probably within like the past 5 years, I would say. But I did play this game like once I've gotten older, or played it once I got older on an emulator. So I had to get it at some point, but this is like slowly rising up in terms of one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. This wasn't one of the first Legend of Zelda games that I actually played. I grew up playing like Ocarina of Time and Link's Awakening on Game Boy. So again, like I said, didn't play this when I was younger, but I had to put it on the list because The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past is just a fantastic game. Absolutely love this. I kind of started playing through it again very recently, but not really much to say beside if you haven't played it. It's just an adventure game, lots of puzzle elements, super cool dungeons. Absolutely love this game. Had to put it at number 9. And then at number 8, this one's a little bit, I guess you could say it's like not necessarily a game, but it's technically an art tool. So this is Mario Paint, made by Nintendo. So this game you actually use like a little mouse instead of a controller, like a computer mouse, but very fun. Different tools you can use inside the game, different types of like colors and stuff, so you can use like brushes, you can use almost like air paints almost, but there's also different other cool elements in it as well. You can play games, you can make music in it. A lot of people on YouTube will actually just make music based off of popular songs and stuff. So a lot of different very cool elements in this game. Whenever I put this in, I can never put it down. There's always something to do in it, and I spent so much time playing it when I was younger. I like to draw a lot more when I was younger, not quite as much anymore. So that's why I like this game a lot, or used to like it very much. But again, one of those games you put in and you can't really, stop yourself from playing it for a long time. So I definitely recommend this one, and had to put this one at number 8. And then at number 7, I kind of did a little switch up, kind of like last minute, because I was just trying to think of the Donkey Kong Country games. So I put the original Donkey Kong Country here at number 7. I can't really like explain like too much of like why I put it lower, just probably the fact that I just didn't play this one quite as much, but I absolutely love all the Donkey Kong Country games. I did own this one on Game Boy Advance as well. Donkey Kong Country Donkey Kong Country is just a platforming game. Absolutely fantastic visuals. Love the music in this game. This is actually developed by Rare and published by Nintendo, but This one, again, in particular, probably didn't play quite as much, so that's why I put it just a little bit lower. But if you never played Donkey Kong Country, you definitely should, and definitely had to be on my Super Nintendo list. And then at number 6, we have another one that you kind of can't really skip out on, but this is Super Mario World. So this is, I believe, one of the first games that they made for Super Nintendo, or if not the first game for Super Nintendo. Of course, made by Nintendo, and it was packed in as well with the Super Nintendo. But just a great platforming game. This is definitely one of my first exposures to 2D Mario, and definitely a great one at that. Very cool characters, very cool level design within this entire game. A very huge game, obviously, because there's a lot of different types of levels, different places that you go. But again, had to put it on the list, and definitely love this game. Recommend it if you've never played it, and you're definitely missing out if you haven't. So I had to put that at number 6. And then at number 5, we have the sequel, which is Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. So this one I played a little bit more, and I actually played this one on Game Boy Advance as well. So that's kind of why I put it on here, just because I spent more time playing it. And I have like a little bit of like bias towards playing it just because I've played it so much. And this one's a little bit different, obviously, because you play as Yoshi, and or I guess you play as different types of Yoshi, or different, you play as the Yoshis, and then you're trying to get Baby Mario. But lots of cool elements in this game. This is a platforming game as well. Yoshi can kind of, like throw eggs and stuff. Very cool, and absolutely love this game. I can't recommend it enough. So I had to put it at number 5. And then at number 4 here, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. I believe they call it Turtles 4, but this game is actually developed by Konami. I think published and developed by Konami. But this is an arcade beat-em-up game. Definitely my favorite of the arcade beat-em-up games for Ninja Turtles. But this game I used to play with all my brothers. I have 3 older brothers, so everyone had a turtle. I was always Raphael, but there's a lot of great things to say about this game. Very cool level design, very cool music. Absolutely love the bosses. And again, just a fantastic game. You play as the turtles going through different time periods. And yeah, just a fantastic game, fantastic beat-em-up game if you've never played it. And then at number 3, we have Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. So this game I put as 3 or a little bit higher than Donkey Kong Country, just because I like the characters a little bit more in this one. But again, like, I guess they're pretty much like all interchangeable, but I just really love Kiddy Kong and Dixie Kong, so that's kind of why I put it up here. But this game's, I would say, like a little bit more refined, obviously, than Donkey Kong Country, or the original Donkey Kong Country, since it like came out later. But there's lots of cool level design. The music is fantastic in this game as well. The art on all the Donkey Kong Country games are beautiful, but again, this one I just have a little bit more bias towards just because I like Kiddy Kong and Dixie Kong. But I recommend this one as well if you've never played it, and definitely had to have it at 3. So I guess it's kind of fitting that it's Donkey Kong Country 3. And then at number 2, we have Disney's Goof Troop. Disney's Goof Troop. So I believe this is developed and published by Capcom. So this game is like, I guess you could say it's like an action adventure game, but a lot of puzzle elements in this one. This game I have a lot of bias towards because my brother and I, whenever we play this game, but like when we were younger, we used to play this game in co-op. This is a fantastic co-op game. This is also one of those games where we would like put into the system, and if we started playing it, we basically wouldn't be able to stop playing it until we beat it. And even until this day, like sometimes when he comes over, I'm like, oh, hey, you want to play Goof Troop? And then we play through the whole thing. This game's just fantastic. And I'm not like too familiar like with the cartoon, so I don't know if this is like based off a specific like cartoon, or if like Goof Troop itself is like a specific cartoon. I guess I'm a little bit too young to actually like know where the actual like origin for like the show is, but you basically play as Goofy and Max, and you're trying to beat a bunch of pirates. So again, very fun game. Definitely had to have it as number 2. I absolutely love this game. So yeah, definitely check it out if you've never played it. And then my number 1 game for Super Nintendo is, of course, another Donkey Kong Country game, but this one is Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest. So this one you play as, oh my goodness, you play as Diddy and you play as Dixie. I would say this one, I mean, I guess people like will like talk about the Donkey Kong Country games, but I would probably say this one is like the best in terms of like level design. Definitely love the music. The music in this game is absolutely fantastic. But I mean, what do you call it? the art design is like pretty much like the same, but I mean, again, it still looks great in this one. I love all the levels in this game. I've said it before, but the Donkey Kong Country games have probably some of the best water levels in the games. Absolutely love the water levels in these games, which is not like most other platforming games. But again, nothing really else to say. This game's fantastic if you've never played it. Also did play this one on Game Boy Advanced. I did show that in my video as well. But Donkey Kong Country 2, definitely one of my favorite game of all time on Super Nintendo. So that is everything. That is all my games, or that is my top 10 list. Let me know in the comments what your favorite game is for Super Nintendo. Let me know if there's a game on Super Nintendo that I should play. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.